U.S. history. You've come to the right place. Welcome to our crash course. We're going to be taking you through the industry, innovation, economics of major events from 1600 to the present. Come on.
Transformation of North America. The most important transformation that happened was the Columbian Exchange, which was the exchange of goods, crops, ideas, and diseases from the Old World to the New World and from the New World to the Old World. Some important crops that were exchanged from the New World were cacao beans, potatoes, and corn. And then the Old World transported sugarcane, horses, cattle, sheep, pigs, and then they also transported disease. Disease was important because it swept away most of the Native American population. And then the sugarcane was basically what ran the entire Caribbean economics.
Now on the British North America and the Atlantic world. The main industry at this time period was involving the triangular trade. The triangular trade, America traded to Europe sugar, tobacco, and cotton. Europe then traded to Africa textiles, rum, and manufactured goods. And then Africa traded to America slaves. Isn't that great? Alright, now we got the Chesapeake colony and the Middle colonies. These two had industries in this time period. The Chesapeake colony, they involved more agriculture, while the Middle colony stuck to like manufacturing. Now in the Chesapeake colony, the main cash crop was tobacco, and with this tobacco it required a greater workforce. This workforce was indentured servants. Now indentured servants were like white people that we had come over and work. They're pretty poor, but see, the indentured servants, they weren't too happy about this. That's when we moved on to something called Bacon's Rebellion. It's pretty much a bunch of indentured servants that got mad, went and be like, hey, we don't want to be indentured servants anymore. That's when we start moving to slavery. So we get a bunch of slaves, and then that pushes into our next time period. Now on the Revolution and the Republican culture. This time period came with many innovations. These innovations included interchangeable parts, the steam engine, and then the cotton gin. The cotton gin was created by Eli Whitney. It's a particularly interesting one. With the cotton gin, we were able to manufacture cotton at a faster amount. So this actually led to more slaves! The next time period was overlapping revolutions. With this, the economy, the president at the time was Andrew Jackson, and he played a key role in the economy. So, we're going to go to the Crash Course AP US History book for some key facts. The bank's 20-year charter was scheduled to expire in 1836. In July of 1832, Andrew Jackson vetoed a bill that would have rechartered the bank. Now, this is very important. So without the bank's restraining policies, state charter banks flourished. This flooded the country with paper currency. Nice. Anyways, there's a massive industry at the time going on, and this was slavery. So at the time, there's a bunch of slaves, and the North's realizing, hey, we don't really like these slaves. Anyways, as you know, all-out civil war breaks out, and we move into Reconstruction.
This time period is creating and preserving a continental nation. After the Civil War, we had the Reconstruction period. So that led to the slaves having to go back to their masters, because now as free men, they need money to work.
I need money. Okay, you can work for me.
This boosted the Southern economy, but it also led to Jim Crow laws and slave codes, which led to a boosted Southern economy, which also led to big industry in the North and Boss Tweed. The next time period is industrializing America, upheavals and experiments. This was at the point in time in America where we had big industry. like Andrew Carnegie Steel and John D. Rockefeller Oil, which all led to the birth of the Transcontinental Railroad. This industry also led to trust busting with William R. Taft and President Roosevelt. See, President Roosevelt busted a lot of the big monopolies, but he left some of the important ones like Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller. Various domestic and global challenges. So the big thing during the early 1900s was big stick policy, where we took over a bunch of nations, including Hawaii, the Philippines, and Cuba. And this also led to all the revolts from each nation. Then, after the big stick policy, we had the Roaring '20s, where our economy flourished. Everyone was had wealth because of Prohibition, because everyone was bootlegging, and that's how everyone was making all their money. Then we had the Great Depression. So after World War I, our economy sunk.
The next time period is the modern state and the age of liberalism. So beginning this time period, the U.S. created the World Bank, which supplies loans to other countries for international projects. And then after World War II, we went from full wartime economics to peacetime economics, which means a lot of people lost jobs because we didn't need to create like tanks and stuff. And then next was the Cold War, which was the U.S. versus Russia in like technology and stuff. And then we had the space race, which was trying to get the first man to the moon and in space. And we actually have footage of one of the first test flights.
All right, clear him for takeoff. Okay, here we go.
1962, we had the creation of the first supercomputer, and then in 1975, we had the first PC. The final period is global capitalism and the end of the American century. So the first thing that happened in this time period was Reaganomics, which was Reagan's policies where he reduced taxes, and then he also increased the free market in America, which caused an economic boom. Then next, we had the creation of the internet in 1995. And then we had the International Space Station, which began creation in 1998. And then finally, most recently, we had the creation of smartphones, hoverboards, and yeah.